Hey guys, what's going on? How are you guys doing? You're welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Adeyemi Olowosagba. If you do not know, now you know. Before I go forward, please kindly hit the subscribe button, like this video, and of course, whatever you think, let me know in the comment section about this video. So, today I want to talk about something very interesting. You see, headlines like this, headlines like this one, are the reasons people say stuff like this. Do you get? So a couple of days ago, I was just, of course, scrolling through Instagram. Then I saw Gideon Okeke's post where he was sort of throwing serious jab at someone. I mean, that's the post, you can see it right there. And he was throwing serious jabs, and I could tell. And Gideon Okeke is a very vocal person, especially on the social media, And I saw him, and he's an amazing actor, by the way. So I saw it, and he sort of was throwing jabs at someone. I was wondering, why this guy they vex like this? Like, who upset Gideon that he's talking like this? Like, this is even way beyond what I've seen in the past. Every time he comes online to talk, as vocal as he is, he's never been too. He never has harsh words or disrespectful words or stuff like that. But this time around, I saw it, and I'm like, who upsets this guy? And he said, you know what? Let me go and do Beboro. Let me go and find. Then I did my research. Then I found out that this amazing actor, Aisha Lawal, who I fell in love with in Jagun Jagun. I think I fell in love with her character in Jagun Jagun, because I thought she was really good. So this amazing actor apparently came out and said that just look at the headlines. Yeah, that's it. The Yorubas own Nollywood. And I'm like, bruh. I'm like, bro, like, why what happened? Why did you have to come out like this? Because for me it's like, and I understand where she's coming from, right? I understand why she made that statement, but I don't think it's the right statement to make for a couple of reasons. The Yorubas don't own Nollywood. No, absolutely not. Now let's rewind, right? Let's educate ourselves a little bit. I mean, I had to go do my research to find out these, things. So let's rewind a little bit to as far back as when the first ever visual content was created to tell a story. Let's rewind back to 1926. These colonial masters who were in Nigeria, this is 1926, so way before Nigeria's independence, right? These colonial masters and missionaries, Christian missionaries and colonial masters who came into Nigeria, decided to create content, visual storytelling content, to tell stories and promote their propaganda, the propaganda that they brought to Africa. And the only way they could tell the story for the locals to understand was to use the locals to perform these roles, to play this, to act these roles in this visual content. And they casted our local actors, male actors, female actors, as at the time, the late Herbert Ogunde, who is quote unquote the father of Nollywood, or the godfather of Nollywood, was just a few years old. Do you get what I mean? So these guys came, they used our local actors, Yorubas, Igbos, casted our local actors from Yorubas to Igbos or whatever, because the colonial masters went across Nigeria to preach their gospel, and do all the things they did, right? They needed to cast our local actors. That was the first time, the first ever visual content that would tell a story was created in Nigeria, 1926, right? And then that was when the film industry, if you want to say, that was when the film industry really started, in my opinion. Then in the 1940s to the 50s, Herbert Ogunde then started his own, theater troupe at the time, where you had a group of professional filmmakers or aspiring filmmakers, or actors, let me say actors and theater artists came together to form a group. Do you understand? But he did not start it. He did not start it in any way. The cinema culture was there because there were theaters owned by, of course, foreigners, but these theaters were in Nigeria, so it's a Nigerian industry. If there's an industry that resides in a particular vicinity, that industry is a part of that community. It is a part of that country, whether it's owned by foreigners or not. And that's the truth. So there was an industry, there was a film industry that was not owned by Nigerians, that was not owned by anyone from any tribe. There was an industry, and the industry was created by the colonial masters, and it was passed down to us. So we didn't, and the ownership, and it wasn't like they passed it down to us as owners. It was just there. It was an industry that was existing. And big shout out to the late Yakub Gowon, who now realized that, you know what, this industry has the potential to become something. But unfortunately, Indian films, especially in the 70s, Indian films, American films, Bollywood films, and all those films were the ones that were becoming very popular, and international Indian actors and all these people were becoming very famous in Nigeria at the time. Hence the need for him to now say, yo, every theater, over 300 theaters owned by foreigners, the ownership had to be passed to, of course, Nigerians and local owners, because they wanted us to own our own product, own our own content, create our own content, create our own visual content to tell our own stories. And the ownership also created some form of wealth and employment, and Albert Ogunde was part of the industry. The only, and why I would give big tribute to him, is that he had the courage. And if you guys are thinking because he's a Yoruba man, this is not because he's a Yoruba man. He just had the courage to take the bold step and say, yo, I can do this. And it was because of the education that he got as well. He was in the UK, he went to the UK for a period of time to study filmmaking. Adelove, Kunle Afolayan's father, also had the privilege to travel to the UK to study filmmaking. And they came to Nigeria. Who told you that there were no Igbo people who also traveled out to study filmmaking? Because they didn't write their names in the history books doesn't mean they don't exist. And let's forget about this whole Yoruba Igbo thing. Let's be honest with ourselves. We only came out of the last elections a couple of months ago, and we had issues of politicians using tribe, religion to divide us, using this tribal bigotry to divide us. Then you have a filmmaker who is supposed to be propagating oneness and unity. We know we are different people, we know we are from different tribes and regions, definitely, but we are in a country, we are Nigerians, whether you like it or not. You cannot go to America and say I am a Yoruba. You would first of all say I am Nigerian before you now say I'm a Yoruba man. So why would you now come out and say that the Yorubas own the industry? Now everybody wants to make Yoruba film. Oh, how about those times where Yoruba films were terrible? There was one time I always tell my friends that if you want to reduce your IQ by a huge percentage, just go to Africa Magic Yoruba, and you are going to see things that will reduce your IQ. So then someone now comes out to say that the Yorubas own the industry. Are we going? Wait. Let's talk about the huge impact that the Igbo filmmakers. Oh, the Kannywood. Nobody's even talking about Kannywood. The Hausa filmmakers. They may not be perfect, but they are creating amazing content for their people, and their people are watching. It's actually, in my opinion, it is a bigger industry if it is well invested in. The Kannywood is actually a bigger industry compared to whatever it is we're doing here in the Southwest. Because we only made one film, Jagun, that is, doing so well right now, and everybody's giving it so much credit, then you think you have the right to come out and say the Yorubas own Nollywood. No, the Yorubas do not own Nollywood. Nollywood is a Nigerian film industry, and we all are stakeholders in it. Both Yorubas, Hausas, Igbos, Ibibios. And this is not because I'm trying to promote unity. No, this is not even about promoting unity. Everyone has a huge contribution to the growth of this industry now. Everyone. And so that means it's not owned. As a matter of fact, if we are being honest with ourselves, the Igbos, the Asaba filmmakers, some of them are even doing a better job. So let's just sort of educate ourselves better. I feel like when people come out to talk, you need to say stuff from an informed place. You know, you need to always, when you want to talk about anything, I think it's only fair and it's only right that you come out to say stuff from an informed place. Because if you do not say stuff from an informed place, you're going to stir up, except you want to trend, except you're doing it for the clout. If you're doing it for clout, if you're doing it to trend, you just want to create a controversy. But even if you want to do that, you should still talk from the place of knowledge. You should still talk from an informed place, detailed information, so you don't confuse people and create unnecessary rancor and fight and beef that we're just trying to heal and come together. And the only industry, by the way, in case you don't know, the only industry that can still promote unity very well in Nigeria is the film industry, is the creative industry. I don't think anyone has the right to come out and say that the Yorubas own Nollywood. The Yorubas do not own Nollywood. I am a Yoruba person. I know the huge role that the Yorubas have played in the growth and the prosperity and the wealth creation of individuals in Nigeria. But same as the Igbos, same as the Hausas, who are doing so. I mean, I've been privileged to go to Asaba to shoot a film once in my life, and I see the amount of work they do out there. They may not be perfect, but they're doing a great work, and it is creating wealth for their people, the same as the North. So I don't think it's right, you know. Yes, Roberto Gunde did some amazing things, and I give big shout out and tributes to him. I think he is one of the major pioneers of Nollywood. He is, if you say the top 5 or top 3, he played a huge role, but it's not just him. Oh, you're not going to talk about Yakub Gowon, who allowed filmmakers to express themselves during his time, who said, oh, the biggest theaters in the country will be owned by Nigerians, so Nigerians can promote theater arts in this theaters and, you know, and cinemas in the 70s. So you're not even giving credit to people that really gave them the platform to express themselves and do the things that they need to do to prosper. Then you're talking about one person. It's wrong. I think it's wrong, and we need to inform ourselves. The people that pass this thing down to us, they are not Nigerians. They are our colonial masters. The technology of filmmaking, when they brought it to Nigeria, when it started and they casted our people, and I'm sure as much as they casted our people to play roles in this content and these films that they created, they also had people who were practitioners back here. I'm sure they also had people who were probably carrying cameras or carrying boxes or working with them at the time. So it wasn't just them. I mean, I don't know why. I don't know who offended Aisha Lawal. I don't know what she heard. I don't know what she saw. Apparently, she's heard that a lot of people want to start making Yoruba films, and she just started talking. And I have huge respect for her. I think she's a great actor. You know, I fell in love with her character in Dragon, but you didn't need to say all that, man. Like, even if you're gonna say that, you should say it from an informed place. You should say it from a place where people don't misunderstand what you're trying to say, or you don't get people confused, or you don't stir up unnecessary conflict, you know, especially in the industry. I mean, I know you don't care, but you should also care, because words are powerful, you know. So yeah, I just said I should, you know, sort of share my own thoughts and sort of, you know, in my own little way, because I had to do my own research to find out these things. Of course, share my own little knowledge and information about the film industry and how it, and the people that contributed to the growth of the film industry it's been over 100 years, guys. Let's be honest. Yeah, that's my 2 cents. Please don't forget to like, subscribe to my channels. Let me know what you think in the comment section. If you agree with some of the things that I said, please, let's have a conversation. And this is not to throw shades at anyone or fight anyone. I'm just here to correct some misinformation and sort of educate, so we can at least educate ourselves, you know. That's only what I came to do. Thank you once again for watching. See you guys next time.